Hello, my name is James, and welcome to my channel, Dead on Pull. In this adventure, I will discuss Green Stuff World's refillable markers, and the paints and inks that you can use with them. Let's start off by showing you the end results of using some of the GSW markers on this miniature from Dark Swords Miniatures called the Female Sorceress. This is one of 3 miniatures I used in testing out the GSW markers and inks, as well as other paints and inks I had lying around my office. I also used some of the Army Painter markers on this miniature as well, just to compare and contrast the markers. I ordered 2 boxes from Green Stuff World, Type 1 and Type 2 markers. They come in packs of 2, I believe, but I figured at the time of ordering I'll just get a box set of each, which cost about $50 USD per box, so about $100 overall, which for me wasn't a bad price. The main problem I had with these markers was how long it actually took me to get the markers. And let me just say, this is in no way Green Stuff World's shipping issue. It's a custom issue. It took about a month for me to get them. Granted, it was over Christmas, so customs was probably packed, but still, a month to get it, not the best, not the worst time. For those of you who don't know, I believe Green Stuff World is based in Spain, and I'm in America, so that's the custom issue there. So this first box is their Type 1 box, which is used for their finer touches, and this box comes with 30 markers. Upon looking at the side panel of this box, I realized they have 4 types of markers. I didn't know that. I bought the Type 1 and Type 2 markers. Apparently they have a 0.7 marker and a 0.5 marker for even more detail. I'll have to look on their site to see if I can find those. So this is what the Type 1 marker looks like. It comes with a ball bearing in the pen to mix the paint. The top just pops off for the marker head. The marker head itself twists off so that you can refill the paint. And there's a small little plastic top on the marker that pops off so that you can actually put the paint in the refillable section. As you'll see in this video, I had a problem getting that little plastic section off the marker. I had to use an X-Acto knife, which I don't recommend, to pop that little plastic top off right there. And once the top came off, a spring kind of popped out on it, so watch out for that as well. But once you get the hang of it, it comes off pretty easy. But like I said, I wouldn't recommend using an X-Acto knife to pop this off. I would find something better to use. This is mostly a design flaw in me, not having fingernails to use to pop this top off. It does come off relatively easy once you know what you're doing. And as you can see here, this is what the marker looks like when it's fully disassembled, ready for paint, ink, or whatever else you want to put in there. And putting it back together was a lot more easier than taking it apart. And this is what the Type 2 box looks like. I'd consider the Type 2 markers to be more of a basing marker to cover the miniature with paint. And this is what the Type 2 marker looks like. It's designed the same way as the Type 1 marker, but the tip is more thicker on it. And that's the only difference. And here's a set of acrylic inks I bought as well from Green Stuff World. I really enjoyed the transparent burgundy ink that is used on this model. And I also liked how the sienna looked on another model for skin tone. So this is me filling up a Type 1 marker with the Army Painter Speed Paint Peachy Flesh to use as a skin tone for the Sorceress. Since this is already a speed paint, I didn't try to thin this down anymore. If it was a normal acrylic paint, I would have mixed in some speed paint mix to thin down the paint more to make it easier to use in the marker. But otherwise, I think normal speed paint or types of speed paint like that should work just fine. And as you can see, filling up wasn't that hard. I wouldn't suggest giving heavy squirts in there. Make it a small consistency so you don't overflow the cap. But otherwise, refilling these things are pretty simple. As you can see, I don't get much into it on camera, but once it's in there, you just start shaking it up, and it doesn't take long to prime the tip, and it's good to go. I will speed up through the rest of this section, but overall, I like the fine tip of this for getting the base skin tone on there, because this is a smaller miniature, and I didn't have any issues really getting the skin tone on and have anything overlap into the other areas of the model. This is where I used the Type 2 marker with a GSW ink. I didn't use a thinner on this ink because I believe the inks are thin enough as is to use with these markers. As you'll see in this next section, I think the ink went on really well. I really like this color. I think it worked well with the miniature. I will speed ahead so you can see the application of this ink onto the miniature. This next ink was a grain ink, and I was surprised how well it worked in the marker, because I think I've had this ink lying around my office for more than a decade. It is a Liquitech green ink. Hopefully I didn't butcher the name, but it went in the marker fine, and it coated the model great. And with these markers, inks seem to work real good because they have a dropper that makes it easy to fill up these markers. Same thing with the Army Painter speed paints. As you'll see, I believe in this video, GW paints are a little hard to fill in these markers because they don't have any droppers. But you'll see that later on. I'll speed through the rest of this section so that you can see it go on the model. Again, this is another ink that I've had lying around my office for like 10 years, and I'm surprised it worked. And came out real well coating the model. I'll speed through this section as well so you can see the application. And here I'm trying an Army Painter marker to see how it works with the other markers. And they work fine. It's just a different tip, that's all. So it's just a different range and a different tip. But overall, if you use one marker, you can use them all, it seems like. It's just what you prefer. If you like the color sets that the Army Painter has out for their markers and you don't want to do refilling, get them. If you want a more dynamic range, I would think the Green Stuff World's a little better. But those are my opinions. So let me fast forward to the rest of this section so you can see the hair getting painted. Now the fun section. I try using a Games Workshop paint with the markers, and it's a contrast paint, so it's like a speed paint. It works, but as you can see, you need your own droppers to make it work. Otherwise, enjoy finding that funnel. But I mean, once it gets filled up, it works just as well as all the other paints in there. The contrast didn't need any thinning, so I liked the application and it worked well on the marker. So let's speed through the rest of this so you can see the application. So my final thoughts are, I like the Green Stuff World markers. Made this painting easy and fast. And if you got the money, I'd probably pick up some, but that's me. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.